What's up, guys? Running it back with another replay for y'all. Gonna be a semi-final showdown between Martinius and HouseCat of War there. And it's gonna be a huge, normally you might see a Tzeentch Air Force, and looks like the Warriors of Chaos are gonna be bringing Tzeentch's own tricks against them, with an exalted hero of Tzeentch on the discs, with 2 Doom Knights, one of them being the Knights of Immolation, Valkia the Bloody in the sky, Firecaster, Marauders, 1 Chaos Warrior, and a super elite chevroned Marauder Horseman. Very interesting choice there. I wonder what the tech there is, but anyways, Tzeentch is going to be Kairos, a soul grinder of Tzeentch, just a nasty unit, and can just absolutely wreck an infantry formation. So we're going to see how the lack of an infantry corps at all plays for the Warriors of Chaos there. A Cold Hellbrass here, Marauders, Sour Guts, Pink Horrors, Marauders, 2 Zangors. So it's going to be interesting to see. Pretty small armies in total for both of these players. And right now, the Marauder Horsemen just capping this #1 objective, while Tzeentch going for the #3, and probably going to move up on the middle very shortly. It's going to be fun to see how he deals with this huge air force. And the first call-in is the Shrieking Skyrays, who are pretty good against units like this, but Valkia is a nasty counter to units like the Shrieking Skyrays. They have pretty poor melee attack, very reliant on that bonus versus large, and being a small target with really good melee stats, she would absolutely dominate these guys in an aerial fight. And it looks like they got a little big for their britches, already getting beat up a little bit. Losing the shields, landing on the ground though. That's a good call. Blue fire coming in there, and yeah, it looks like the Soul Grinder giving the attention to those Chaos Warriors, doing obscene amounts of damage to them. And in the meantime, these Sour Guts, with the Harmonic Convergence on them, fighting against this massive Doom Knight Corps with the Shrieking Skyray support, and doing a decent amount of damage to all these targets, but certainly not doing great. And luckily, though, the Sour Discharge is really starting to add up some damage on the Doom Knight units here. It does 72 damage in a really small radius, but right next to the model where all these guys are, can certainly add up the damage. And those Doom Knights are getting punished pretty hard, but they are able to squeak up back into the air and get away from the majority of the damage that those Synagors might have been able to throw down. Oh, down here in the forest, the Soul Grinder intercepted. Looks like the Pharaoh Mana Corps was fighting him for a bit there, and swapping out with Valkia and the Exalted Hero, just silver surfing around and doing some good work against this guy. Getting rid of his shield, and certainly going to start doing a lot more damage to him if given the opportunity. Flamestorm coming in here in the middle. Looks like it's just taking out shields and a few models of Pink Horrors. Got the Marauders there at the end, which is decently nice. These Marauders here in the front line are beating up the Marauders of Tzeentch, winning that combat pretty handily. Maybe some fire support from the Marauder Horsemen making the difference there. Pharaoh Mana Corps rampaging into the Sour Guts, and the Soul Grinder just running, just trying to stay alive. And find an opportunity to shoot in here and kill some of these infantry targets. Not able to hit anything in the air so far. Tzeentch army ability going in there. I don't know if it hit anything though. Regardless, Knights of Immolation still got 24 models, and probably best to just let them regen some shields here before they dive back in. They've been doing some great work so far. Flying into support. This fight here in the middle, it looks like, and a good Searing Torment coming in there, doing a lot of damage to those Tzeentch Marauders, who did get the Harmonic Convergence, but don't have much to fight. Valkia is stuck in there just a little bit, but not going to be too bad for her. It's just Marauders and some Zangors. And the Exalted Hero is working down the Soul Grinder still, just not letting this guy shoot any more ammo. He hasn't been able to fire in couple minutes now, and just not really able to find a safe place to sit. Sloughnir and a piercing bolt. Bolt's not quite hitting anything, killing a few marauders there. But Sloughnir taking the shields off all these infantry, which is giving the Forsaken a chance to get their attacks in. And the number 3 objective looking like it's going to get secured pretty securely by the forces of the Warriors of Chaos. Knights of Immolation, man, have been all over the battlefield so far. 1,300 value on them. Forsaken getting beat up by the Centaurs, though, really need the assistance of those guys, but Martinius doing a good job of getting rid of the Soul Grinder, who's only got 700 value. That's a very expensive artillery piece, and not getting your money's worth out of that guy is going to really hurt, and he's down by... HouseCat's down by quite a bit in the damage value so far, but holding a pretty secure lead in victory tickets. Centaurs countercharging some Chaos Knights, it looks like, but getting flattened a little bit. They're pretty expensive, and the Chaos Knights do quite a bit of damage, and certainly wrap up that combat with the help of the Knights of Immolation there. The Doombolt coming in, doing a little bit of work against the Chaos Knights, and some Horsemasters coming out, maybe gonna help finish off these overextended Zangors. A-Cold, not too much value on him, but plenty of room left in the tank. Probably hadn't even taken a lick of damage on HP. Nope. That's pretty funny. Pretty typical. Oh, Kairos getting hunted now by the hero squad. Valkia and the Exalted hero here just chasing him around, but really good control by HouseCat of War, dodging Kairos back and forth between these spearmen here, and trapping both of the both Valkia and the Exalted hero up there, which is a pretty good situation for him. Gaze of Fate stopping up these Marauder Horsemasters and giving the Centaurs of Tzeentch a chance to get in on them. But it looks like the Knights of Immolation intercepting, man, and they're going to do some pretty good work against those Centaurs. A couple of the Knights do go down here, taking a bit of damage, and it looks like Martinius is going to swap them out and let the Chaos Knights do the heavy lifting there, slamming into those very expensive skirmishers, essentially. That's what I consider these light shot cav to be, is like a form of skirmish unit. And getting countercharged by the Knights of Immolation as well, to really good plays coming in from Martinius. And yet again, Valkia and the Exalted Hero did escape from the clutches of the Marauder Spears and are back up in the air after Kairos and chasing him all over the field. A-Cold chasing the Forsaken, who are looks like they're going to try and help the Fire Sorcerer secure the number 1 objective. Martinius does need to start capping objectives, so it doesn't end up being a triple cap territory for him. Although, looking around the battlefield, Tzeentch is pretty thin here. And it looks like a Searing Torment's about to come in there and nails those spears, man. Gonna give the Tattered Forsaken and Chaos Knights pretty good opportunity to get in there and do some good work. These guys are actually about to break. That's pretty insane. Frightened, attacked in flank, under missile fire. Lots of debuffs coming in there. And they're probably not going to be able to stick around and hold that center objective. With the number 3 secured, a little bit of play with the Tattered Zangors there. It might be a triple cap for the Warriors of Chaos coming in here soon. And Kairos is taking so much damage. Absolutely nailed by Valkia and the hero here. They're trying to get off the ground and stop this unsummon. The Fury's buffering out the Doom Knights very effectively, but trading pretty poorly in the meantime. And it's a pretty big hole to try and climb out of.
The enemy has captured one of your victory
it's not
points.
quite as bad
Take it
as
back.
it, well, it actually might be, because the barriers have been dealt with pretty effectively. Lots of uses of Sloughnir and the piercing bolts and Flamestorm have taken the barriers off of these Tzeentchian units pretty effectively, and another Flamestorm coming in here is going to do a lot of damage to these Zangors, roasting them, doing a lot of good work against these guys. Really not giving an opportunity for the Tzeentchian forces to regen at any point. The Chaos Sorcerer up to 1200 value, and he's on foot and has really nothing except the 2 spells, so probably more than paying for himself. A-Cold killing him off, or doing a lot of damage. I think he might rally. He's only at -1. If he gets safe enough, he might rally. But A-Cold, very healthy. Gonna just grind into these Chaos Warriors here. Unfortunately, man, these Zangors have been punished pretty heavily yet again. And Centaur's rallying in the forest. Gonna try and maybe make a play. I would maybe go in for the number 3 objective of the middle. Probably not going to be able to do anything to cap this middle objective, or this number 1 objective. It's triple cap now for the Warriors of Chaos, and there's not much on the field for Tzeentch here. A-Cold could probably grind down this unit of Chaos Warriors, and through this other one as well, so if HouseCat can just keep the triple cap from being sustained much longer, maybe he can make his way back into this battle, but that's going to be easier said than done. Some Zangors coming out of the Vanguard with the Centaurs here, but there is a lot to answer those guys. The Centaurs don't have very good armor outside of the overshields, so taking any poke from those Marauder Horsemasters is going to be pretty bad for them, and, you know, they're of comparable speed, so they can just get kited out by the Horsemen. Not sure how he's going to play into getting back in this game. Just outnumbered, outvalued. Although bringing it back a little bit, looks like a Flamestorm coming in on the side here, doing a lot of damage to Zangos, but killing a lot of the Warriors there. Maybe not totally worth it, I guess. I don't know, it got about 150 value on those Angors. Did send them running, so A-Cold not having any extra cap weight here, gonna have to fight a unit of Forsaken, as well as this Chaos Warrior, who are not quite on the edge of the objective. Maybe moving them a little bit over would be a little safer, but Zangor is looking to be in a really bad spot. They've got, looks like another Centaur coming out. This Centaur trying to stop these skirmishers from getting good side shots and mitigating the silver shields. Doing a little bit of damage and picking off a few models on those horsemen, but getting countercharged by Valkia and the Exalted Hero. That's gotta hurt. Very bad situation for those Centaurs to be in. They do get rid of one of the Horsemaster units, which is nice, but the Zangor is overextending a bit and need to be focusing in on fighting those Marauders. Trapping Valkia up is going to be easier said than done. She just walks right past everybody. On her way out. Good charge onto the Marauders there, and the second unit of Centaurs coming in now. Attack orders onto those Marauders. If they can get rid of the Marauders, the Force of Tzeentch are going to be able to flip this side point pretty easily here. Blue Horrors just kiting away from the Forsaken right now. It does look like yeah, it was the Forsaken that was over here. Maybe they got tired of getting the crap beat out of them by A-Cold. Up to 1,500 value on him. Really nice job by this hero here. Maybe going to be able to grind through this other... It's just one more Chaos Warrior. They're not going to be able to stop A-Cold from ripping them apart, so... we'll see what happens on that number 1 objective, and the number 3 flipping to Tzeentch, and it does look like they have a pretty substantial advantage here. Although the Centaurs, one unit has been dealt with pretty substantially. This other one down to about half health. Decent value on them, but man, those Forsaken have been really nasty this game. Not tons of value on them, but they've been able to just move up and constantly provide pressure for Martinius in the early and mid-game here. Intercepting units and giving the cover for the Exalted Hero and Valkia to do good work, as well as those Knights of Immolation. I was very impressed with those Doom Knights. Very good work done by them to secure this lead here for Martinius, who is pretty... I think it is triple cap territory for Tzeentch. They are working down these Chaos Warriors. They have the number 3 objective here. I don't know if they're going to be able to hold it here, though. That's going to be a little bit risky and difficult. Chaos Furies do break one of the Forsaken, but another unit of Forsaken up on the point to get some cap pressure on this position here. And the Pharaoh Manticore just killing some of the blue horrors, making it a little bit more difficult for them to fire those volleys in. And the Zangor's completely surrounded here. Very bad position for them, and getting a terror route on those guys. And looks like they're going to get chased down by a unit of Forsaken. There's some Marauder Force-Masters here, and yeah, an actual route coming in now, and they're probably going to get chased off the field here by the superior mobility of the Forsaken, which is really not very good for HouseCat. They've still got 65 models left. They're, you know, a little bit less than half health, but the very healthy when the terror route came in, and, you know, just down to a unit of blue horrors there. Tzeentch, in all that time, though, Tzeentch did work down these Chaos Warriors, has resecured the number 1, technically still holding the number 2, and slowing it down to a crawl on the timing for that ticket lead, but a fresh unit of Doom Knights does arrive, absolutely hammering these blue horrors, negative 55 leadership on them, and the demonic instability is gonna absolutely destroy them. I mean, from half to nothing in about 2 seconds. Really unfortunate for the forces of Tzeentch. Grinding in on the middle objective and are flipping it with the Zangors, the 2 Zangors here, sorry. And Akold has moved to the middle as well, doing some good work against these Chaos Warriors. This might be the time to try and kill Valkia. Akold is excellent against her, very, very good stats, and a bonus versus infantry to circumvent her really solid melee defense. I would definitely be clicking as furiously as I could at Valkia, because if you can kill her, maybe you could do something, but I don't know, maybe just not enough time. And that's going to be it for this one. GG's to Martinius, bringing a really wild Air Force build, and 2,600 on the Doom Knights. Valkia paying for herself, certainly. Good value on the Sorcerer, and Exalted Hero. Exalted Hero did more work than Valkia, even. That's pretty crazy. The rest of this Chaos Warrior unit got 0 value. Absolutely got deleted by the Soul Grinder early going there. That's all that value, probably a little bit of that came off of that Manticore, but I would be willing to bet that like 600 value was just from killing that Chaos Warrior. But a good call bringing that Air Force, actually, because the Soul Grinder went down pretty quickly, and Sour Guts getting 1,000 value, almost all of that, I'm sure, just off of their Sour Discharge exploding on the very expensive Knights there, but still decent value on this one. And the Knights of Immolation, 2,600 more than making up the difference for the other one that didn't quite carry its weight. So Martinius, man, doing great work with his control on the battlefield. Forsaken coming in, doing some pretty good work themselves. Akold did work. Kairos got bullied there once the Soul Grinder went down, and not being able to get value out of your very expensive Lord and artillery piece is probably just what lost him that game, honestly. He did a good job of scrapping there in the late game. Maybe with a little bit of a wider army, he wouldn't have been in quite the same hole against this Air Force, which might not have had enough valuable targets to go after, but who knows. Martinius was microwaving like crazy around, making very clean plays, dealing with all those very scary Tzeentchian targets, killing pink horrors, the streaking sky rays, got summoned in twice and only got 800 value. That's pretty mediocre, honestly, but, you know. That's going to be it for this one, guys. Hope you all enjoyed this one. GG's, peace, and I'll see you next time.